Hey, everybody, it's John, your Indian Cine-MANIAC, with a very special 10ish-minute review. So I already put a short out on this. I just got back from the theater that was showing Jawan, starring King Khan, SRK. So this was the first time I was able to see one of these movies in an actual theater. So I was pretty stoked about it. So I wanted to give you my initial thoughts on it, and I'll talk a little general about it, and then I'm going to get into some spoilers. It's a new movie, so if you haven't seen it yet and you want to be surprised, do not watch the spoiler section. But I am going to give out some spoilers. So as always, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, and smash that like button. I would appreciate that, especially now that I'm going to the movies to see these films. So this was Jawan, directed by Atlee, who I understand his background is in Tamil films. It stars SRK, Nayanthara, who I don't think I've seen in any films before. Vijay, Sethupathi, who was in Super Deluxe and Vikram Vedha. I loved him in Vikram Vedha. Deepika Padukone, who was in Padmavat Pathan in '83. And there was a cameo in it that I was like, I've seen so many of these films now. I recognize the cameo, and there was a big reaction from the audience too. I won't tell you what that is till I get to the spoiler section. Excuse me. So from what I understand about this film, this was the people who, it was a Yash production, but most of the production team was Tamil, obviously other than SRK. So I just saw Pathan, which came out about 6 months ago, and I have to tell you, Shah Rukh Khan is growing on me. Now, you guys all know I am a Amir Khan. I think he's fantastic. He's very different from Shah Rukh Khan, and that's not to say one's better than the other. But Shah Rukh Khan, now I haven't seen Swades, I haven't seen My Name is Khan, but he's definitely a bigger than life personality, where Amir Khan kind of inhabits his characters. And I think he's probably the better actor. Now, I'm not taking away anything from Shah Rukh Khan, because I loved him in this movie. I absolutely loved him in this movie for a bunch of reasons. But let me just give you my feeling about seeing it on the big screen. First of all, 30 minutes in the film, and I'm getting into it, the entire movie theater lost power. Every cinema, and I don't know how many there are. There's like 20 something, all lost power. So we had to sit with just the emergency lights for about 15 minutes, and we weren't sure it was coming back on. So I was like, that's a bad omen right there. But it came back, and then we got into it. The musical numbers in this film were much more fantastical than some of the ones that I've seen. They were beautiful, and it was amazing to see these dance numbers up on the big screen. And the color scheme, like he's dancing with these prisoners, these women who are all in green, and he's wearing red, and it's just such a stark contrast. It's visually, it's stunning, and all the musical numbers were like that. I loved them. Now, the difference of seeing it in the theater, the music was loud. I mean, it was blasting, but it was still cool to see it up on the big screen. I really like him in this film, and I'll get into specifics when I get to the spoiler section. It had the female characters were the predominant characters, other than SRK and the villain, who was very good. But the women had a big role in this, and Deepika's cameo. She had some scenes, but she was excellent too. And the woman who played his future wife, which was Nayanthara, was also good. But it's his film, and he carries this film, and he's the reason why you want to watch it. And frankly, he's got the magnetic personality to pull it off. So it was just fantastic. In the audience, the reactions from the audience that I was looking forward to. Right before the interval, there's a fantastic scene, and they went crazy over it. And then some of the cameos and some of the references that I got, because I've been seeing so many of these films, but the audience really reacted to it. I just thought that was so cool. My one complaint about this movie, there's definitely a social awareness aspect of this film. And my problem with it is there's a lot. They go after the medical profession. They go after farmers, banking, capitalism in general. What are some of the other ones? I mean, voting in elections. I mean, he does this monologue where he's talking about we only have 5 hours to vote, and we take longer than that to buy groceries. So it wasn't that I'm against that kind of stuff, but it was like one after the other, and it was pretty obvious, and it was in your face, which normally turns me off in movies. But they surrounded it with great action scenes. I mean, the choreography in these action scenes are fantastic. So, and the music, I love the music too. The musical numbers were great. Okay, so now I'm going to do a spoiler section because I really want to get into what I really loved about this film. So if you haven't seen it, time to shut it off. I'm going to give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3. Oh, I'm sounding like my brother Ralph. 3, 2, 1. Okay, spoiler sections. I did not know that Khan was going to play 2 characters in this. So he plays Azad, and he plays Vikram. What was his last name? Rathone. Is that what it was? Vikram Rathore. So I didn't know that going into it. And by the way, his entrance, when he makes his entrance into the film, and it's a great scene at the beginning of the movie, it's amazing. I mean, all the entrances of these lead characters in these films are incredible. And this is no exception. He makes a striking entrance. It's fantastic. So as the movie progresses, you meet Azad, and you think it's the same person as the guy at the beginning. Well, then you find out they're not. And to me, that's what I loved the most about SRK's performance, because he plays younger Assad and the older Vikram, father and son. And the father has amnesia because he got hit in the head. But and this is where I'm going to give him props for his acting, because it wasn't just personality. These were 2 distinct characters, including vocally. And I actually preferred the older character. He was funny. He was badass. I mean, the scene before the interval where you get introduced to the father after seeing him in the beginning is a great scene. And the crowd went nuts when he started wailing on the bad guys. But I loved that. And I will also say the special effects, when they merged the 2, when he was playing against himself, was seamless. I mean, it was really, really, and everyone makes fun of Doom 3, which I still like. But it was like that when Amir Khan played both characters. The special effects are fantastic. You can't really tell, which is great. And he plays off each other really, really well in his performance. Another reason why I appreciated this compared to some of the other things I've seen him in, which I've liked him in, but I thought this was his best acting of the movies I've seen. I think I'm gonna watch one of the other ones after watching this one. Then there was a scene where he makes a joke about this giant henchman, and he calls him Balu Bali. And of course, I've seen the movies, so I got the reference. And so they all laughed, I laughed. And then there's a great cameo at the end of the film, a negotiator. And all of a sudden, you see the feet, and then the door opens. Now the camera zooms in on, and who is it? Sanjay Dutt, who I just saw, and Munabai MBBS. And of course, I'm stoked because I know who it is. And the crowd went crazy when he showed up. So it was great to see him, and they have some great scenes together, including a little twist at the end, which I won't mention in this spoiler section because I'm just not. But he was great. So I love this movie. I thought he was great in it. I really enjoyed it. It is a it never stops. Like it never dragged, and it was over 3 hours. I think it was like 3 hours and 5 minutes. Other than the the 15 minutes where we lost power, it didn't drag. There was always something happening, unexpected. Now it was a little disjointed the way it hopped around. Some of the stuff didn't make sense. Like there's this one guy, a Russian, who helped the bad guy finance this, and he had a big mask on, like almost like Bane in The Dark Knight. And I was really curious about that character, but there was one scene where he was in a limo and then you never saw him again. And I was like, well, that's kind of weird. Why would they give him a mask like that and not do anything with him? I thought that was kind of strange. So they did a lot of jumping like that. But I mean, and the social stuff that they did, it was just too much. But other than that, I'm so thrilled that I got to see this in the movie theater with an audience. So, and this is the first time that there's been a movie in my local cinema. So I was really psyched about that. And maybe there'll be more. I don't know. But big thumbs up. And I'm becoming I know you guys love SRK, and you know that how I feel about Amir Khan. But he's definitely winning me over. He's just got this little twinkle in his eye. And he can dance. And I saw an interview with him because I go down the rabbit hole, and he was funny. He was talking about that arm thing he does, that his world famous arm thing. And he said that came because he couldn't do some of the more complicated steps. So the choreographers just started telling him to do that. So that's why he does it in all his movie, and it's his thing now. So and he's very clever, very charming in his interviews. So I'm gonna start looking some more films. And again, I know Swades is one that everyone has recommended. My Name is Khan. I'm not sure about that one because I know it's about 9/11, and I have a real visceral reaction to anything to do with 9/11 because of something that I went through at that time. So I don't know if I want to watch that. And let me know in your thoughts in the comment section what you think about that, because it's a hard thing for me to deal with. So I don't know, based on some stuff that I've read, that I like that movie, or would it be a tough watch for me? But if you have not seen this movie, get out there and see it. I think you'll if you're a fan of his, you're definitely going to love this movie. And like I said, he's really growing on me. So I'm just so thrilled that I could see this in the movie theater, and I'm looking forward to seeing another one too. I went by myself too. So okay, that's how dedicated I am. Now let me just say this. If that doesn't get me a subscription, a notification, or a big like, then I'm doing something wrong. Okay. But anyway, that's it. That's my review. Loved it. And go out and see it. Okay. And we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.